Welcome back to World Crisis Radio. Webster Tarpley reporting from Hamburg, Germany tonight. The rest of this situation, what we've just done is gone through essentially the map of the ethnic groups, tribes, and clans of Libya. The conclusion being that in the area up here in the northwest, Misurata, Tripoli, Ghadames, we have various kinds of Berber clans and tribes seemingly loyal to Gaddafi so far, the basis of his power. Then in the southeast, this Al-Walfala tribe, ethnic group, with 1 million members turning against him. The center, however, is the northeast, where we have these 22 tribes that are now following orders, at least to some degree, from El-Obaidi of the El-Obaidat clan. That's the center of it. That's Benghazi, Tobruk, Derna. And then even in the southeast, the Al-Zintan clan also rebelling, even though the Al-Zintans were supposed to be allies of the Gaddafi clan there in the northwest. So that's the best guess I can give you from a situation where all the mass media, of course, are lying continuously. The country could indeed break up. Now, what we've heard in the last 12 hours is reports of pro-Gaddafi forces taking up the counteroffensive, various kinds of counteroffensives by military units that have remained loyal to Gaddafi are counterattacking. Now, whether these ad hoc things can hold up under any kind of serious military attack, we don't know. In other words, for the moment, Gaddafi has lost control of significant parts of the country, but the ability of the people who think they have got power in those areas to defend themselves, that may not be so great. That may be much harder for them to arrange. We'll simply have to look. Now, Gaddafi is also using these African refugees, and this is an interesting story. It shows the relations. The European Union wanted Libya to be a buffer state. They wanted Libya to essentially be a shock absorber, so that if you have people coming from Chad or Niger or Upper Volta or from Somalia or other places, and trying to get to Libya, because from Libya you can get across the Mediterranean, you can get to Italy, you can go to Greece if you go in a slightly different direction, although that's farther. People who desperately want to save their lives by getting out of Africa and into the European Union. Gaddafi essentially had a contract with the European Union that he would capture these people and he would put them in concentration camps. So he had concentration camps funded by the guardians of public morality here, the Eurocrats and Eurogorks, the Barrosos and the Soldanos of the European Union. Iberian fascists always seem to be in the lead. They were holding these Arabs, again, Niger, Chad, Somalia, the very, very poor countries of Africa. A lot of these are black Africans. He was keeping them in concentration camps. What he's done now is to arm them and to let them out, at least some. Right? We have enough reports on this that I think it actually has happened. So he's let them come out, and they are now part of. Well, those are his Basij, right? Those are his Baltajis, as we saw in Egypt, and these are obviously very desperate people, not militarily organized, but capable of acts of great desperation. Now, some other complications of this is that in Libya, according to Die Welt of Hamburg, the local paper here, there are 30,000 Chinese workers, engineers, business people, and students in Libya. There is in particular a group of 13,000 Chinese workers, 13,000 Chinese workers at the Libya-Egypt border. They are stranded. So the Chinese embassy in Egypt has sent 50 buses to get these Chinese from Tobruk and to bring them back towards Egypt. And China, interestingly, China has asked Greece to become the Chinese forward base for getting these people back to China, for absorbing Chinese for the moment and giving them a safe haven far from home. And we saw that the Chinese took advantage of the insane Anglo-American attack on Greece last year. The Chinese have bought heavily into Greece, and this includes the Chinese. The People's Republic of China is taking responsibility for the Taiwanese, for the Republic of China people. So the mainland is taking responsibility for Formosa and Taiwan, in effect. Interesting gesture towards Chinese unity. So that's the situation inside. Now, in terms of refugees, we already have refugees coming from Tunisia. Tunisia is now descending into chaos, right? Tunisia was Ben Ali. The U.S. and the British organized a military coup with the Golden Youth, with the nihilist masses in the foreground, and this then turned into a military coup, and now it is chaos. So we have this Italian island of Lampedusa. Lampedusa is an Italian. It's an integral part of Italy. It's quite close to the North African coast, and this place is now being overwhelmed by refugees, and the whole European Union has mobilized. They've sent the European Border Patrol, Frontex it's called, to try to catch these refugees, drive them back. It's not clear what they're doing. You can imagine. The larger problem is this. We have this morning in Brussels, I guess it is, the meeting of the European ministers where they talk about the extent of the refugees that are now expected. Now, the Italian foreign minister, Franco Frattini, says that it's going to be at least 200,000 to 300,000 immigrants, but it's going to be quite possibly 1.5 million to 2 million refugees. And where will they go? Well, Lampedusa, Sicily, these islands. Let me just interject that when you're in Sicily, if you're in the town of Erice near Trapani in western Sicily, southwest Sicily, you look out from Erice, you can see Tunisia. You can see right across that the Straits of Sicily there. So it's not that far. It's visible. Now Libya a little bit further away, but even so. When you're in Tunis, you turn on the TV and you get the Italian TV from Lampedusa. So it's close, and Italy is close, but Spain is, of course, very close if the stuff gets into Morocco, which it easily could, and Greece is not far away. So this is a big problem for the European Union. Now, the Italians say they don't want to be the only ones to accept the burden, and we have the German Interior Minister de Maizière. This is very nasty, chauvinistic stuff, saying, "Oh, you Italians, we Germans took 50,000 refugees last year, and you only took 10,000. So don't ask us for any help now." This is ugly stuff. What you can see is this: that the refugee flow is a huge threat to Europe. This is absolutely huge. 2 million refugees. You're going to be absolutely overwhelmed, given especially the mentality of these Eurogorks and Eurocrats. They're going to have a very, very hard time. And what it's going to lead to is a further pressure to break apart the European Union, because the Germans are going to be ugly, the Italians are going to be demanding, the Spanish are going to be demanding, the Greeks, and of course the Northern Europeans are going to say, "Oh, once again, you Southern bums, lazy characters, always problems, nothing but trouble. What do you want from us this time? More money, more money, more money. We're sick and tired." Now, this is absolute folly, okay? Anybody who's interested in civilization, statesmanship, culture, civilization versus barbarism, it would not go along with this. But this is what they're going to do, right? The CDU party of Germany under Merkel. This is quite typical. So it's a huge threat to Europe. You can see now, you destabilize North Africa, you've already taken a giant step towards destabilizing Europe. It is the va-banque. It's the double or nothing, shoot the works for destabilization of the CIA worldwide that we're dealing with.